What would you rather have chucked at you, a raw potato or a hot potato?
I'm always in detention. Why am I also a geek?
We would listen to Craig David songs and like Huff Hairspray.
Hello, I'm Dan Tiernan.
And I'm Molly McGuinness, and this is our brand new show where we talk to guests about their school experience.
All of it.
All of it.
Detentions.
Pylons.
Wedgies.
Yeah.
Is that okay? How are you feeling about going back to school?
I didn't love school, but there is elements that I loved about it.
What sort of stuff did you like about school?
Like sharpening my pencil.
Welcome to the classroom. Today's new kid is Alison Spittle.
Hi,
Welcome, Alison. How are you doing?
I'm good. I'm very used to being a new kid. I moved around schools a lot when I was a kid.
Oh,
Did
no
you?
way.
Yeah.
How many
yeah.
were we talking? What sort of
6.
numbers? 6.
Yeah.
6, so, and he's only like, what, and this is just in high school?
No, just in primary school. The
Oh
high
my
school I went to, I
gosh.
stayed in for like the whole thing.
Yeah.
But like when I was a little kid, my dad's a builder. So like we would move around wherever the work was. So like I used to live in Germany and stuff when I was a little kid.
Okay.
No
Which,
way.
yeah, I thought I lived in Germany for years. And my dad was like, no, you spent like a summer and an autumn there. And I was like, oh, right. But in my
That's
head.
quite a long time as a kid. though.
Yeah.
But yeah, I did think that. I did think like it felt like years. So yeah.
'Cause these days, a year is just like a day. Do you know what I mean? It's not nothing. a year.
Yeah.
Like
do you know-
school holidays, they felt like they went on forever.
Forever.
You
Yeah.
changed as a person when you got back.
Yeah. In Ireland, our school holidays were like from like late May until September. We had really, really long school holidays because of the farming. Because like if you're a kid and you were the kid of a farmer, then you'd be required to work for the summer. So that's still our school holidays are like going via the agricultural calendar, which is a bit
That's
weird.
so cool. Even
Yeah.
in high school.
Oh, in high school especially, because that's where like you'd have like 15-year-old lads driving tractors and shit. Like it was a big part of I wasn't.
So
I grew up
what,
in
you'd
a
like break up when there was like a lot of farming to be done?
yeah, but not me. I grew up in a council estate,
Oh,
so
so you're completely chilled.
completely
But
chilled.
you could still finish in May, but you could
Yeah.
just chill out.
I was just chilling.
But
I'd
that's
go.
a bit like you do a whole
Yeah.
term at school and then you break up, the bell goes and it's like, oh, now I've got to get on a tractor and like sort out all the crops.
Yeah, that's some
It's a
of the
bit
kids
long.
that happened to.
Yeah.
Remember this kid lit his shed on fire by accident because he was experimenting with smoking during the hay season. And
It's quite funny to be experimenting with smoking.
I know, in a shed full of dry grass.
I was experimenting with smoking.
like it's a Bunsen burner.
Yeah, but it destroyed his dad's whole agricultural year. The cows went hungry that year.
no.
Yeah.
I am pleased that when you said you'd been to 6 schools that you said you was because you travelled around a lot, because it's either like
Yeah.
parents worked around or like deep trauma. You know, someone's
I mean, a
moving
bit
school.
of both.
Yeah,
bit
yeah,
of both.
yeah.
Yeah. But when I moved to a different school, like you kind of started a new identity because you were like, oh, like last time that didn't work well there.
Yeah.
So I'm going to change myself. I'm going to be like this or whatever. So like because I used to live in England, I was born in England. My dad's English. And when I moved over to Ireland, like I had an English accent, so I had to like get rid of that pretty
God,
quick.
so
Yeah.
you are English.
I'm Irish. Shut the fuck up.
Alison, I think you might be English. Because you're born in England and your dad's English. It's sounding a lot like you might be English.
But my mum is Irish.
And
if
you
it-
grew up in Ireland.
I grew up in Ireland, and if it was the Irish football team, they take fucking people with like Irish grandparents. Like,
Yeah,
you know what I
it's true.
mean? You're Tiernan.
And I claim to be Irish as
You
well, so I
have to
can't
be.
talk.
You'd be able to play for Ireland if you're a good enough football player.
Yeah.
You know, that's
Where-
the only thing.
Whereabouts in England were you?
Harrow in North London. That's where I
Posh
was born.
English as well. Not just...
No, Harrow is not posh English. That is Irish immigrants.
I'll back
That
down, I'll
is-
back down. I'm sorry.
Back down from that. Back down from that. No.
I do just presume every southerner is posh.
Yeah.
It's just what you presume,
Yeah.
How, but
Well,
but
I'm
all
northern.
southerners
It's
pre-
terrible because we presume northern people are
Oh,
not posh,
yeah,
and then
yeah,
we
yeah.
meet
This
is the
some
thing that
comedians
pisses-
and they went to private school. You're like, what?
You get this all the time.
This pisses Molly off because
Yeah.
everyone presumes that I am like scum of the earth.
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
And I actually went to private school. I'm
Did
just going to
you?
reveal this now.
Yeah.
That's amazing.
Horses.
No, whoa. I don't want to reveal it. Oh,
I love the way you were like pointing at me, going like,
I
"You're English."
know. That's why I think I'm going to come out of this now. I was like, I'm backing off.
Like,
I'm backing off.
We only deflect on each other. This is good.
This podcast, it's an open space. We can come
Absolutely.
clean with these things. But I was going to come up. There's no way I could do a podcast about my school and not admit that I did go to
Yeah,
a
that would
private
be
school.
hilarious. I'd love to see how many episodes you'd get through before, because it is so different. Like private schools and like my school. So I'll talk about my secondary school loads because like that's the biggest like amount of time I spent there.
Yeah.
But that was a brand new school. It was not private, but it was like, because Ireland had a lot of money going into it at the time. They had a mental health department in my school. So like they had like two like professionals. Like it was
Don't you find it mad that isn't a thing that every school
they should have it?
That is so
Surely
obvious.
they do a bit more now.
No, but they should have it even more
Because
it would save
everyone
them
had
so much.
such a mental health issue at school. Because of course you did. It's it's mad.
Yeah.
I had a full-on breakdown when I was like 13, and I had to, I was punching this jacket of potato into the floor in front of my mum, and my mum was like, "What's going on?" I was like, "I actually don't know."
Yeah. And they're like, "Oh well, I'm sure she's fine."
Yeah.
I had a potato incident too. I threw a potato at a lad that was kicking my chair.
This is
I threw it
amazing.
at his head and then ran away.
Was it a hot potato? Was it a raw potato?
Raw potato.
That's gonna
we
hurt.
were using it for something in science. I
Were
don't
you going to
know
do
what.
electric? Will you make electricity?
Oh, yeah, maybe
out of
that's
Oh,
what it
that's
potato?
was.
cool when it
yeah.
goes through the potato. What would you rather had chucked at you? A raw potato or a hot potato?
Hot potato.
But
Hot
that's
potato.
But that's gonna be like they retain so much
Heat, that's true.
and
That's
it's
what
gonna
he
be very
deserves.
humiliating as well. It's gonna like squish into you.
Yeah.
Yeah, for
You
sure.
are kind of picking between like a scar or a concussion. I think I'd go scarring, because like a concussion, that can be, bad.
All right, let's see us at school. This is Alison when she was at school.
Hey, look at that. That was
cute.
Was that like a selfie then?
It was a selfie. I was trying. That
Before
was
its
with a
time.
digital camera.
Yeah, the digital selfies.
Digital
yeah.
camera, the angle. I was going for the angle.
How old?
I feel like this is all back now with a digital
It
camera.
is. They see the kids
Yeah,
now
and
with the
people are
digital
taking them
cameras.
dead high up again.
Yeah, because it's like you were told it's slimming, you
Yeah.
know, and I
How
got
old are you here?
2006. This is too old. I'm 17.
You're
This is
17.
like,
Oh my God, you
yeah.
look so young though. You look younger.
I never got into pubs.
Would it be?
I never got into pubs.
Fair
Yeah.
to say that you've taken this with maybe a slight lustful intention. I
Do you
feel
think
like,
so, Dan?
I think this is a bit of a look at the eyes.
I
It's
think
The
like-
eyes.
you were trying to impress someone. with
Someone.
this
I
one.
probably
for
was. I was
sure.
trying to catfish someone or something. But you can see like there's debris under a radiator there. That is the cleanest part of my house, and I've got like a weird like I've got a weird like headband as well. There is a lustful intention.
Oh, I
there is.
remember them, like the elasticy
Oh, I
ones.
used to love them. I used to
and
live
I'd have
in
it
them.
in my fringe
All
like
the
that.
time.
That was a good look.
I used to try and look like Darwin Dees. Do you remember him? He was this like hipster man. He had
with a
this-
feather.
or like jewelry. Used to wear necklaces in my hair. We'll go back to the lustful look though. I did steer that away, Dan. I did blush. Probably was for someone who didn't live in my village. Like I was very much a frigid, very much a.
Would it have been someone online?
Oh, defo.
I had a MySpace boyfriend. That was
Did
like my
you?
first boyfriend.
What was their
yeah.
name?
Ryan.
Ryan, the MySpace
Ryan on
boyfriend.
MySpace.
Yeah, and he looked just like Billy Joe. That was the thing, and he
Wow.
wore eyeliner, and he would ring me and sing Green Day songs. 'Cause I was obsessed with Green Day. It was like I was completely obsessed. So
Wow.
yeah,
Which
and then we
Green Day
met.
songs?
And he would do like like
Time
the
of your
ones
life.
from the first album, like to really impress me.
Wow.
Yeah, it did work, but we did meet up in real life, and he told me I need to dye my hair blonde and lose weight. So I was
Lovely.
quite hot.
Was Ryan the
heartbroken.
same age as you?
I think he was, yeah.
Was he? Or
Yeah.
did he pretend to be the same
No,
age?
I think he
was
wa-
the eyeliner hiding a lot of crow's feet?
Well, weirdly, I think he was the same age, but weirdly, I looked at him about a year ago or something.
Of course.
He just got
You got to look
checking,
at someone who
yeah.
told you to lose weight
Yeah,
15 years ago
He's
and
still-
hope they're
he was
dead.
celebrating
Yeah.
his 60th birthday.
No, he's still doing the eyeliner.
Oh, and
he was
still on-
dyed his
still
hair
on
black.
MySpace.
You know,
Oh
he
my
was
God.
Yeah.
Basically, it's not a good look in your 30s.
Maybe you
on
should
a-
have lost weight for him. That's all I'm saying.
No, Who knows what I would have lived with him, yeah.
Christ,
crazy, like, it's just crazy that he would sing songs to you and you'd be like, yeah.
I loved it. I
so
loved that's all
cringe.
you wanted at that age, I think.
Yeah.
That's all you wanted, I think.
No, it was. He was my rock star boyfriend. I think, yeah, did you have a crush like that?
Like what on someone who
Online.
online? No, I kind of like. I used to go on. I used to go on Morrissey. I used to go on Morrissey chat rooms and forums where Morrissey fans would talk about which hotel Morrissey was going to stay at. And I used to hang out outside his hotel. What was I waiting for?
My God. I love stuff like that because I would get so obsessed with stuff. So I imagine you were like that with Morrissey.
Yeah,
so obsessed with stuff, and like no one around me was like that bothered. So
None
I had
at
to go
all.
on the internet.
There was no
and,
one.
find people.
There was no one in my school that was a fan of Morrissey. There was a guy whose sister was a fan of Morrissey, so I hung out with him.
Just to find out about the sister.
Yeah, and he was into Muse. Genuinely, I wanted community. And like in my school, there was no real there was like people that were into sports, and then geeks, and then the in between as if like these were people that were into Muse or into Foo Fighters or into Morrissey, and we would just hang out because we liked people with guitars. And we were like, well, this is our community. We used to like cut off each other's hair and then make a big hairball and then hide it in the school as a sign of our friendship. So it was like, it was very sad. Very sad.
You cut someone's hair or cut your own hair?
We would cut the other person's hair with consent. It would be like,
So
Like
they'd be
blood
like, can I
brothers.
have a bit of your hair?
Yeah.
And you'd be like, absolutely.
Absolutely, mate, yeah.
They'd cut a bit of your hair and then they'd hide it in the school.
We would then put all of our hair into one big hair clump, and then we would hide it in the school
Where
somewhere.
would you put it?
We put it, we put it behind the lockers. I presume it's still
And
there.
then like
I don't know.
a bit later, you'd maybe should we go and check on our little hair ball?
Yeah,
Yeah.
genuinely,
I think
that's
that's
it.
quite nice. I think
Yeah.
us three after this part.
Yeah,
we
can we
should
do
our
that
about
for the
hiding
pod?
it.
Yeah.
Yeah, because I used to hang out with like we just like because I grew up in a council estate, and the estate that I had, I was friends with the tough people, but the only thing that we had in common was we'd smoke. So we would like hang out and smoke, but we never talked about like anything that was of interest to me. And then so I'd hang out with the little geeky gothy people, and they would be my people that I would like chat, yap, be a little bit of a freak with, and then I'd go back to my estate and I'd smoke my Benson and Hedges.
What age are you when you start smoking?
11 or 12.
Wow. So
Yeah.
are you naughty then? Are you smoking without parents and teachers, like? Because
Knowing or what? Or
yeah,
like,
yeah. Because for me at my school, I started smoking, like not actually smoking, but I would performatively smoke.
I would performatively
because
smoke
it
at
was-
11.
But because it was so naughty.
Yeah.
That's all I was doing. It was to show people that I was like cool.
Yeah.
or
I think
Definitely-
that's how it starts.
Definitely how it
really.
starts. And it's like,
so, but
if
you
there's
were a
these
bit of a
people-
rebel then. That's what I'm trying to establish.
But it's like I was being a rebel to fit in.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So it's like
definitely.
rebellion was like the rebellion, like I think like I was rebelling against it's this weird thing because like I just grew up in this estate, and the idea like I'm talking about this estate as if it's like there's about 20 houses, it's rural, but you know everyone's poor and shit, and like you know they're doing stuff like you're huffing links and like crushing up your mum's nerve pills and all that shit. Like you know, thinking you're in Skins and you look at it, it's like the most pathetic shit ever. It's like I was literally huffing Hairspray and then watching Hollyoaks. There was no glamour. There was no glamour
Huffing
at all.
Hairspray is pretty hardcore. That
Very
Yeah.
hardcore.
Like I was a
Yeah.
bit of a nitty kid, and we never I never huffed deodorant.
I would like if I had access to hash, I
So-
would have done hash.
So
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
I
Like-
would smoke weed when I think like the day before I turned 14, I smoked weed
Yeah.
for the first time because I was desperate to have done it by the time I was 13.
Yes.
So it was all to get credit.
Have you watched the film 13?
No.
Yeah,
Yeah.
so good.
I watched it with my friend Donna, and we were 13 at the time. And then we looked at each other and was like, we haven't even given a blowjob yet. Like, what are we doing with our
Yeah.
lives?
That's
Like
what
in
I
the
mean.
Forbes 30 under 30, where we're like, we haven't achieved anything. Yeah.
But yeah, I would.
I was such a sexually repressed teenager and adult,
Yeah.
but I was the way that I would like perform fitting in would be like through smoking and through like that type of
Well,
thing.
I remember I would spray myself with deodorant.
Yeah.
So they couldn't smell the cigs or the weed.
Yeah.
And my mum found deodorant in my bag and
thought
instantly knew
you
what I was
were-
up to. But then told my dad, and my dad was like, "Christ, he's been huffing deodorant." And I was like, yeah. Oh God, he's been huffing deodorant.
Yeah,
And
I
then-
would be disappointed in my kid if they were off.
And then there was
Yeah.
there's another time when he sat me down and was like, "Dan, found the ecstasy pills," and I was like, "What?" And he was like, "Your mum told me that we'd tell you together, but I can't wait. I found your we got you." And then I was like, "I don't know what you're talking about." And then I got him to get them out, and it was just 3 mints that were like loose.
that's
But then he
so
didn't believe
lovely.
me, so then I ate one to be like, "Look," and then he convinced himself I was bluffing. He was like, "Oh God,
What, that
you're
you
gonna
were
be-"
able to, like, withhold
Yeah, he
it?
thought I was an absolute like psychological beast. I was
You were like,
"Look, minty," and then really I'm like white in his throat.
You just feel the breathness hit. It's like, yeah, that's cool. No, like, my school, I kind of tried to fit in. I was a real kind of like social butterfly because I felt like I never fitted in anywhere because I would always be the new kid, so you'd always be on the back foot.
Yeah, you
And
kind of learnt those skills quite young.
Definitely.
Yeah.
I think
So you
Yeah.
could jump into different groups.
You've got to
Yeah,
just win
big
over
time.
everyone. Yeah.
all the time. You've only
Yeah.
got one shot to make a first impression. So then,
Yeah.
like, I don't think I'd be a comedian if I didn't move around so much because, like, doing stand-up gig is a bit like going, we're gonna make friends.
Yeah.
You know, the
Yeah,
shortcut
so
to that.
Yeah, you're like going to a new school.
Were you like that as well? Were you jumping groups? Or were you
Yeah, well,
just-
my school was small.
Yeah.
So there were 48 people in my year. at peak.
Amazing. There's
Yeah.
150 in mine.
Yeah, wow.
Yeah, mine
and
was
then
about that.
I've
Yeah.
got mates who had like 500 in their year.
Wow.
And so, but I was a big drifter, like between. I remember lunchtime, I would just go between groups.
Me too.
Like in one lunch, I would just, as soon as it got boring, I would go and find. And it wasn't like I was cool, like at all.
No.
Yeah.
I probably was when I got to about. When I was like year 11, I think then I started to get like I didn't care. I didn't care.
Yeah.
But year 7, 8, I was an absolute like dweeb. Yeah.
I was very into the idea of having like, because I'd read a lot of Jacqueline Wilson books and all these books were about like talking about friends. And I was like, I don't have a close friend. All of my friendship groups, my friends are paired up and I'm the odd one. I'm having a good time. I'm having a ball.
You
but
weren't the best friend.
Never of
Yeah,
anyone
yeah.
was I the best friend. I just wanted a best friend so bad.
Yeah.
But then I'm like, now looking back, I'm like, I don't think I would have wanted a best friend.
It's always a lot of pressure.
So much pressure.
I feel like I would have best friends, but I'd have quite a few best friends.
I have so
and then
many
one
best
would get
friends now.
jealous,
Yeah.
and then you're like people pleasing. And
Yeah,
Oh,
me
girl-
too.
Girl
and-
friendship groups at school was like
Mental.
psychological
Mental.
warfare.
Yeah.
I definitely was like, peace out of that. When, so the last primary school that I moved to, like my best friend was a boy then. Because like the girl friendship group was already sorted out. And I think it's because I'd moved school so many times, I was a bit like, I'm not fucking bothering because I thought I'd move again.
Yeah.
So I just treated that school like I'm going again. I'm just going to do whatever I like. So my best mate was a boy and we used to watch like Kerrang and shit like that. And I was an absolute, I used to go to the girls' sleepovers and then just tell the boy every secret the girls had. I was not a good friend. I was an absolute little reverse misogynist.
Yeah, but
I'd
you
be
did
like,
a lot for him.
oh, I did because he was fat as well. So like we
Oh.
were both fat and we both loved watching Scuzz.
Oh,
and,
I love
like,
Scuzz too.
Did you?
And
Yeah.
Kerrang, yeah.
And like, but it's weird how like I went from different friendship groups. I was into rap for a bit. I was into Bollywood shit for a while when I was young.
That's cool.
Yeah, I just liked all different shit.
Yeah.
And I was into Channel U. Do you remember Channel U?
Vaguely, what was on it?
Like rap, British rap. And I was in a crew in
yeah,
Ireland,
yeah.
X crew they were called, and we would do this.
Really?
Yeah, and we would stand. We used to go like that, X crew. And I remember we
And what would X crew get up to? What sort of stuff?
we would listen to Craig David songs and like Huff Hairspray. And write raps about our headmaster.
But would you be rapping together and stuff?
I'd never rap. I always thought I'd be like a Talisa, but I was too shy.
But
Do
you
know
like
what
you're
I
like
mean?
you're
I
like that
wanted to be
person who doesn't do comedy but is just always there.
around it.
Yeah.
Yeah. which they're the backbone of comedy.
Yeah.
But like, it was a lot of that,
That's
stuff.
cool.
There was a Jacobite castle in the back of my council estate. So like, we used to play like, there's an old ruin of a old watchtower at the back of my house. And a farmer used it to like store stuff for the cows and stuff like that. But we used to play in it and just pretend that we were like kings and queens and stuff until someone rolled a rock onto someone's face when we were playing war, and then we were banned from it. But it was glorious. Yeah. Sorry, I just interrupted you to say that. But
No, that was good.
That sounds lovely. I was like strictly a mosher only. Really. But I think I would have been friends with you. I would have liked you.
Yeah.
I feel like I was always drawn to the ones that were a bit more rebellious, because I wasn't really rebellious. I was really childlike.
Yeah.
I was always getting in trouble.
You said you were like a nerd, but also always in trouble.
Yeah, I was always.
So I think you were like that mad girl who was like super ADHD.
Yeah.
Who was always like trying to not be.
Yeah, I didn't.
Which is the worst thing. You're not deliberately being rebellious.
Yeah.
You're trying to be good. And then, which is kind of the most embarrassing thing you can be.
Yeah.
I'm imagining you getting like pinned down in the corridor, like going like.
But also, what's still embarrassing about that is like, when the popular kids are like bullying you and calling you a geek, I'm like, I'm not a geek.
Yeah.
I'm like,
I'm not
good.
trying.
I'm in bottom set and I'm always in detention. Why am I also a geek? Like, you just get put into it. I think just because I was weird, really.
Yeah.
Oh no, we don't really get you.
But the weird ones and the geeks always hung out. Like the popular ones is such a thin line of like. Geeks are fucking great. Because they're little weirdos underneath. Do you know what I mean? You can have more than a 40-minute chat with a geek, and you're like, you're
crazy.
Yeah. You
You've
kill
got so
your
much anger. Yeah.
You murder your Sims too. You know what I mean? It's that type of thing. Yeah.
But I also think that like, if you're really naughty, which
I was naughty.
I mean, I wasn't for the first few years, and then I turned quite naughty.
Me too.
To the point where at my school they were really strict with homework. So I was in detention every single day. And when you live that kind of life, you kind of you miss out socially. So you end up kind of being a bit with the misfits because you're on like a different lunch and stuff like that.
Yeah, you're right. I think like my thing was like, so when I moved around schools when I was younger, I was always like my friendship group when I was a little kid was adults, because I just because my dad's mates. My best friend was a guy called Malcolm, who was 36 and a builder, like when I was about 5, and I named my fish after him and shit. Like that was my like social group, you know. Looking back, he must have been weirded out by this little girl who was just like, I've
my
named
best
my
friend.
What did you like about Malcolm?
I think he was just like, he talked to me, and I think it was just like, cause I lived in Germany, I didn't have any friends that were like spoke my language that were my age, so my like social group was like people who could speak English, and that was my dad's workmates and shit. And then I was always being praised as a kid for being able to read. Like they were like, I'd read something, and my family were like, look at that, the gifted child. So I was always told I was clever. And then I moved to the last place that I moved to, and like I remember the first day I came out of my state, and I think I said the word diabolical, and I was like 7 or something like that. And then someone goes, what the fuck is wrong with you? You eating a dictionary? Like, what the fuck? And they were so mad at me for being clever that I had to like change my identity. And my teachers in primary school, like there's one teacher used to like impersonate my mum, because my mum was worried about my schooling and everything, but he used to impersonate my mum to the class, so the class would laugh about it and stuff. And I was very much like, that teacher didn't like me because I'd always put up my hand, and because I was learning in England before, you'd learn history at a younger age, so I knew all the shit that they were doing in Ireland, even though Ireland had a stronger foundation of teaching about grammar, all this shit. Like, so they would be mad at me for like always putting my hand up. So I kind of learned when I went into secondary school, even though I was put in the top set, I was like, I don't want my life to be a clever girl, because I don't like being a clever girl, because people don't like that. So then I asked to be moved to the bottom set, because I knew that like my friends from my estate were going to me, Alison, it's amazing, you should come to our class. A guy threw a chair at a teacher, it was great. So I was like, I have to do this. And like my mum was like, you're ruining your life, don't do it. And I did it. But so I was, it was weird, isn't it? How I felt like I was rebellious, but I wasn't, because I was like always trying to go for people's approval.
Yeah.
And then when I was like 15, then I rebelled against that, but then it was like too late. Yeah. That was
it's actually mad. I sometimes wish like I could go back to school and just like smash it.
Yeah.
Like, academically, and also know how to be cool at the same time.
Me too.
Like now you have that. Well, it's then because now I'm 29.
Yeah, but you're not going to do homework. I mean, do you not still have nightmares about not doing coursework or missing an exam? I still have them all the time.
Some people's schools weren't strict with homework, but mine really were. We got 3 pieces a day.
Yeah,
that's
that
crazy.
is
And you
absolute
had
hell.
to do it.
Yeah.
I think I really did not give a fuck. I think it was just like a place I had to be in. Because I riddled of ADHD, and I was back then, but I wasn't diagnosed and shit because I'm a girl.
Yeah.
But like, once I was punished once, then I was like, I'm just gonna do this for the rest. I can do this for 6 years, and I just did that.
That's the
That's
worst
annoying
thing.
that I fucked with my own.
Is when you get punished, you realise it's not nearly as bad as they make out.
Yeah.
That's
And then
actually alright.
Yeah.
Then you're done for.
Then I just barely went to school for the last 2 years of my. I watched so much Maury and Jerry Springer, and like I know, great. My education was watching the Channel 4 education supplement on the day, and I'd watch so many shit documentaries about entrepreneurs, and I should have been going to school.
I don't think you need that much of an education. Like, depends what you're gonna do.
No,
But like,
I ran for like student election in my school, and like there was this thing called junior county council where you had to pretend that you were in the council, and every school got to vote for their representative. I did win it by a landslide. Not to brag.
I used to get really annoyed that those kind of opportunities would go to the swotty, nerdy people.
Yeah.
And it'd be like, they're not a leader.
I know.
They're like, I'm a charismatic speaker. Like,
Yes.
give me that. Just because I've not done my homework.
Yeah.
Like, why are you punished? Do you know what I mean?
But what
That
did
was-
you want?
Well, I loved any kind of
Was this
power
open to a
or-
public vote, or was this by the teachers?
There was just all kinds of things like that.
Like
yeah,
prefect.
that you
where
didn't
where
do.
the teachers would select.
Yeah, that's
maybe there'd be a
bollocks.
few people or something.
If the teachers were selecting, I was not getting it.
Yeah.
But I did a campaign. I drew pictures of Mr. T, and because Mr. T was big at the time, and I was like, I pity the fool who doesn't vote for Alison Spittle, and that was my
nice.
poster and shit like that.
Was that your
I was
slogan?
the Nigel Farage of I was
Populist.
populist.
Yeah.
An absolute bastard.
Yeah.
Really,
It's
really
funny-
appealing to their base needs.
Yeah,
you know?
pushing against the typical like elite, like
Yeah.
It's funny that was popular at the time, though.
Yeah,
Mr.
In
T.
Ireland.
Was
Yeah.
that because of the
They-
Snickers advert?
It was the Snickers advert,
Oh,
and they used to sell
right.
these little things you get on a keyboard that was a soundboard, and it would have like different Mr. T sayings. Yeah, it was or Still It Bang was really big in my school at the time. Remember the
Quite big
hi.
advert culture.
Yeah, big before the internet really came. It was like, hi, I'm Barry Scott, and I'm here to talk to you about Still It Bang. But I had a, hi, I'm Barry Scott, and I'm here to tell you to vote for Alison Spittle. And I drew a picture
Wow,
of like,
That's good
and I was like,
stuff.
bang, and the job is done. And do you know what I ran on campaign of? I wanted to create a smoking area for the students. That's what I ran on.
What age are you? 16.
I was 16 at the time, and I was like, there needs to be a
Did you go
smoking
to
area.
school in the 80s?
But like,
Still It Bang. And
yeah, I know.
smoking area.
Yeah, and like we also had a hoop that you'd put a stick through and all that, and go to the soda fountain and shit. No,
I don't know
you
what
were
you're
like, you were
talking
really.
You've literally just gone to me.
Yeah, I know.
We should have a look at me and Molly. as
Sorry,
well, at school.
yeah.
My picture's not actually. I don't think my picture's that weird. I think I look quite normal in mine.
Oh, I'm gonna look for a lustful look now. I've been like, I'm
yeah,
like fully.
maybe. I don't know.
Well,
Well,
yeah,
I
we
couldn't find,
sh-
I'm locked out of my Facebook.
I didn't know. We didn't get the memo that Alison got that we have to send really horny photos.
Yeah,
Now,
yeah,
then
I
again,
didn't
yours
know
isn't
that.
not horny. Again.
Dan, yours is
That
horny.
is amazing. So, what was the band called?
I was in a band.
Wow.
But this is what I mean. I loved, when I was saying, I loved anything that was kind of my superpower at school, is that I loved being centre of attention.
Yeah.
So anything like that, I just craved. So I was in a band called the Armadillos.
That's a
but
great
what's
name.
mad is I didn't play a musical instrument.
Yeah.
But I wanted to be in the band that they
But
were in.
was that not yours?
No,
You
that
just
was
hold
that
it?
actually wasn't mine. But I did have one.
That's
That's a bass
amazing.
guitar, I believe.
Yeah.
And I just got bass lessons so I could be in the band. So I was like, first band rehearsal, I like not had my bass lessons yet.
Yeah.
But I just kind of thought it was a thing you could pick up.
Yeah.
Yeah,
And then
but
we-
you've got to put the time in. I did guitar for 6 years and I couldn't play it at all. 'Cause
Yeah.
It was like homework. I didn't do it at home.
I tried loads of instruments, keyboard, bass, trumpet.
Triangle.
Yeah.
I couldn't, triangle probably. But then little did I know, well, I was a magician as well, 12 to 18, yeah.
Wow.
And that
Wow.
was kind of, I was nearly there. Do you know what I mean? I think I like...
You got dyspraxia, don't you?
Yeah.
And you were trying to be a magician.
I was
That's
so-
incredible.
So rubbish.
That's
but obviously
incredible.
incredibly talented communicator. And, so like, I think the fact
Yeah.
that I probably leveled it out kind of, so I was kind of fine.
Yeah. Did you do
think-
speeches and shit at school?
Yeah,
I did.
I did. I remember. I loved that so much, speaking and listening. When it was like
you?
all these nerds, you'd be like, right, you're in my arena now.
Yeah.
And
you
they'd
love
all
that
be,
too? Oh, I
they'd
love
all
it.
be
Stuff like that.
stuttering. They'd all be stuttering in that, and I just like nail this like speech.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We had a debating club, and there was a guy called Father Hipwell. He died during school. He was a king. Absolute, like, big up to Father Hipwell. Loved him. He used to do this thing, he used to make us push a car around a community centre and time us like a race. Like he was like, just like for fun. Just like for fun. This is how much of a king he was. But he ran a debating club, and I love debating. I love
too.
debating, and I had to do a thing where I did a speech about non-smoking, about how smoking is bad for you, and I did it.
Whilst also
I was
doing this campaign
Yeah,
to get the
smoking area. I was mental. I also because what happened
You
was
definitely were Nigel Farage.
I was. I genuinely was. Genuinely.
running a complete false campaign.
Yeah, and I'm living a lifestyle that's so different to what I'm preaching. Yeah, like so what happened was there was this thing in Ireland. We have this thing called transition year. It's the 4th year. You get to piss around for a whole year. It's amazing. There's no
What year is
actual.
that?
The 4th year, so I would have been like 16, 17. We went to Portugal. It's like this. When I say like my school was like not private, but so well funded until the arse fell out of the economy in Ireland. But I was on benefits and I was reaping the rewards. It was amazing.
Wait, you just pissed around for a year?
A year.
What?
Went
And
to-
then you had breaks from May, so you had so much
we
free
s-
time.
so much free time. It was amazing. I used to go to England and do telemarketing and make money and then come back.
No way.
Yeah.
Oh, wait,
that
you
was
come
my.
what and do call centre sales?
I used to sell gas boiler insurance.
Oh wow, that's a bit different. I'm a bit of a what's the word? A bit of a guru when it comes to telesales.
Really?
Oh, you were really good at it,
Yeah,
weren't
I
you?
got good at it. It's the only job I've ever been good at, but now I'm like it's deeply immoral, to be honest.
I know.
Were you good at it?
I was good at it towards the end.
But you're not that push. You don't strike me as
Do you
being
have
particularly pushy.
No, I'm not pushy.
Yeah, but I think you're being you're very
Friendly.
friendly.
Yeah,
I think
yeah,
that was,
yeah,
it makes
yeah.
it seem genuine.
Yeah. I'm very much like my whole childhood was like being a rodeo clown for like violent situations where I'd come out and tell jokes after to my family or whatever. Go, everything's great. And I
Yeah.
definitely utilised that into comedy and cold
Yeah.
call sales and
Yeah,
stuff like that.
definitely.
But yeah,
So did they take you to Portugal?
took me to Portugal. It was amazing.
Wow.
We were what else did we do in TY? We had to do this thing called junk couture where you made an outfit out of junk. So I made a top hat made of cigarette packets.
There's a real theme here, isn't there?
Yeah.
It's really smoky. I'm off the ciggies
You
now.
don't smoke anymore.
No,
do
I
you?
don't.
How long
unless,
have you been off?
So I've been off it like let's say 6 years, but I've been back on with the Fringe. So if the Fringe happened,
yeah,
I'd be
Fringe
back
doesn't
on.
I think
count.
that's fine.
Yeah, or a funeral or a festival.
Right,
The 3 F's.
Yeah.
For fags. The 3 F's of fags.
Fringe
Festi-
funeral festival.
Bang, I'm in it. But I had to do, I did this speech and it was a bit like stand-up because it was all about like telling people not to smoke. And I would talk about like the the erectile dysfunctions you'd get with smoking and all this. I did the research and then I would like do the act outs and shit like that. And I had a great time. And they asked me to go, this in primary school, in transition year. They asked me to go to like this golf club and do the speech there in front of like 2,000 people. So I did that. And I was like smoking on the golf course before I went up and did my speech. And then I went, smoking is so bad for you. That was so bad. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, but TY is great. I would do it. And we went to Portugal. We did loads of shit. It was great.
Did you say you would do it? What, like me and Molly could go and do it now?
What, go to Portugal?
No,
Go to
no,
Portugal.
do this transition year in Ireland.
Oh, I
Yeah.
love a transition year.
Well, the cool thing was is like I could not afford. My mum could not afford to send me to Portugal, so it was all free within the
that's
year. So I got to live the
good.
life of like someone that like I think it did make me want. And I used to work for a radio station whilst I was in school, so I would review films
For a radio station.
for like a national. Yeah, what happened was I texted.
So I think you were doing well
Yeah,
as a
yeah.
teenager.
And
You're
I-
doing
Yeah.
lots of like things.
Oh,
like-
yeah.
And I suppose if you were put in the lower sets, because
Yeah.
you're feeling weird about that, but you got that like you got that out in other ways by
Yeah.
doing like the debating and speak like.
Big time. And
Yeah.
I used to do like musicals and stuff. I used to love musicals.
No way, you were doing it
Yeah,
all.
I was doing it all.
I did nothing really. I was not right. You were complete, and then hanging out with the moshers, hanging out with the hip hop guys, and hanging out with
Yeah.
the hairspray sniffers. That's so impressive.
Thank you.
Wow.
Yeah. Well,
But my exams would say I had a bad time.
Yeah.
My exams were so shit. Like I didn't finish them.
You probably just had too much on.
I did, didn't I? That was
Yeah.
it. That's what was
Yeah.
happening. Too much on.
well, we are going to be grading your school experience at the end of the episode.
Oh,
Nice.
So
Yeah.
make sure you. We maybe need to find out in a bit like what you did wrong. Do you know what I mean? Because it sounds like you were the perfect. Sounds like you were cool. You were doing drugs. You were winning elections.
Yeah.
Radio. Molly, the picture when you were in the trolley.
Yeah. So eager to talk about it.
Did you pose
no,
with it
I
because
just-
your name rhymes with trolley?
No, I think there was a Netto near my school. I think
Beautiful.
that was actually the last
But
day
were
of
Netto's
school.
big shops with trolleys? Was this like a big Netto?
Big Netto, yeah.
Wow.
Why did you not
Yes.
have a big Netto?
No, we didn't have a Netto, to be honest with you.
Yeah, of course. No, I think we'd finished early, so we treated ourselves to go into Netto.
Incredible.
And I thought that would be really rebellious.
You
I was
do look
oh,
like you're
that's-
doing
This
that
is
as well.
naughty.
Look
This
at
is
that
why I want
face.
to talk about
Is it naughty?
Yeah, because you're saying you were
Oh,
a nerd, and you actually look.
No,
like
I
you-
wasn't a nerd. I was a freak. That is
Yeah,
what-
freak.
Yeah, you
I
do
was-
look,
Nerds
you look
are
like a freak
academic.
there. I'll give you
Nerds
that.
are
on the
academic.
same level as I may be below the nerds. I actually think I might have been scum of the school, kind of worst loser.
Because at least with the nerds, they did know that they were going to get a good job.
Yeah, it's so true.
They were like, I'm going to go through this shit, but I'm going to rule these people. In 6 years' time, I'm going to be a solicitor or whatever.
Yeah.
With the freaks, we didn't have the hope.
No,
you know, with the
that's
social.
it. That's so true.
You know, some nerds though were mean.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and some of me.
You know, in an academic sense, they
Yeah.
were mean. Like
Yeah,
you
they
try and
were.
ask for their help, they wouldn't help you and stuff
Yeah.
like that.
Yeah, they
and he'd
were.
snitch on you as well.
Yeah.
And snitching is mean.
Yeah.
It was encouraged, but it's mean because you're just doing someone in for no like good of your own.
No,
Like-
it's so true. Because I'd be like, come on, we're
Yeah.
on the same team
Yeah.
here. Don't be mean to me.
You know, people who are
But then I
like,
do get it there, like, it's not fair because Dan's not done any work.
Yeah.
He's not
No.
even bought a pencil case.
but they
How the
are.
hell can that guy get the same grade as me for work I've done?
I bet
They-
you never had a pencil case.
No, I used to. I think bare minimum you had to have a pen and paper. So I
Yeah.
used to come in with one pen wrapped in a sheet of paper.
Oh, that's
You know,
amazing.
like a little thingy, because that was the bare minimum to not get in trouble. Yeah.
But they are the type
and
of
then there was
scum.
a girl called Louise, and,
Yeah.
and she felt sorry for me. She always had her help me like, Louise,
Nice.
give me a
always get you
pen.
a
She'd like
pen.
chuck me a pen under
What
the table.
queen
Yeah, she was
is
dead
this?
sound to me actually. But
you know-
I would always get moved for like distracting people. I was that.
Yeah.
kid.
Yeah, me too. Yeah,
sure.
Yeah, me
We would
too.
have been good together. I
Yeah.
think all of us would have
Yeah.
got on
Yeah,
well.
we'd have had a great
We'd
time.
have a
the three
great
of
time.
us.
We'd be very disruptive. But the people that are like that snitch on you, for like cheating. They are the type of people that look at a queue for like a food bank and then judge how much the shoes cost of the people that are queuing.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? They are absolute scum, and I wish nothing but the worst
like,
for them.
oh, well, they've got a coat or they've had a shave or whatever.
Yeah.
So they're at a
So
food
You
bank.
you can afford an iPhone.
Yeah,
You
yeah.
know?
So true.
Yeah.
Should we talk about lunch? What was
Please.
your experience at lunch? Well, for me, later on, I was always in detention. And at my school, we had detention during lunch.
Yeah, and then you're
Oh.
late, and then there's nothing left.
Well, yeah, but you do a late lunch. So I was often in the late years on my own for lunch or with the other, like, naughty kids.
Oh.
But lunch was kind of mad, innit? Yeah, you'd always want... At my school, you'd want to get your lunch as soon as possible.
Yeah, and running.
Everyone
would
running to lunch, and it'd get all bustly as well.
That was quite fun.
Yeah, that's mad.
Oh my
The
God.
adrenaline of going to
And that
lunch.
teacher comes in. Year 9.
That's amazing.
And you pretend to be on it over years so you could get in it.
Yeah.
And then someone will grasp like
He's in
not
year
even in
9,
this
miss.
year.
I'm in year 7.
He doesn't even go to this school. Yeah. I used to queue early because I got free school lunches. So I'd be let out like 5 minutes early.
Oh, they let you go in first.
Yeah, they let you go in first and
And
get
did
your
that feel
free school
good,
lunches.
or did you feel like embarrassed? Do you know what I mean?
I was so open about shit to like my.
Well, you had a bloody a therapist at school, so you
Exactly,
were
I
really
know
on
that.
top and in control of all of these things.
Yeah, and I'd have to not do double German because I'd go to my therapist, and my friends were like, "Where are you going during this?" And I was like, "Yeah, I had a breakdown about 2 weeks ago where I smashed a potato into the floor, and now I'm doing this." And they were all cool about it.
Because you already had the coping mechanisms from your therapist of how to own these things and not repress them.
I don't know. I think it's like I didn't see the need to lie, and then because I didn't
So
get
good.
punished for that, then it's like I think that's why I do stand up so much about being mental, and then people are like, "You're so open about this," and I'm like, "I've been open about it since I was a
Yeah.
kid." You
Yeah.
know, there's no, and I didn't. The world didn't fall in and shit. People would call me crazy, but I was crazy. I would jump over school bags and pretend I was a horse. So it was like I did not give a fuck. You know.
No, but at school, that's class.
Yeah,
that is class.
But I
Class
used to
bit.
get like, so our canteen was like, because I was chatting to my mate about this the other day, because she said, you have this thing in England about these school cakes that are like a type of like sponge
Oh
with
yeah,
icing on it.
yeah.
We didn't
Banging.
have that. We didn't have like, we had sausage rolls. We had sausage baguettes, like a cooked baguette, and we had like incredible rolls. And I used to do work experience in my school canteen because I didn't put the effort into finding work experience. I did work experience for an Irish TD, which is an MP here, and I used to do his letters for him and stuff. He was a Labour politician in Ireland,
Oh.
which was good at the time.
Yeah, that's so you. I love
Yeah,
that.
I know.
Doing that.
I was
Mine
always.
was in a guitar shop,
Was
but
it?
I only did one day and then I pretended to be sick.
I love this for you. You
Yeah.
freak. I
Yeah.
love this. You're
I thought
like,
it'd be really fun, but
It
there
wasn't.
was no customers. I watched like a Foo Fighters DVD on repeat, and there was just like no customers, and I just felt like awkward. You're just like so awkward at the age. It's just like me and just some guy. you know?
Yeah.
It's
I'm
a
not
bit
doing
kind of
this.
like welcome to the real world, isn't it? Being
Yeah.
like, oh, even a guitar shop isn't fun.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You probably had an image that everyone would be like playing guitar.
you
Yeah.
did, like it's high fidelity, and
Yeah.
you'd just been talking about what your
Yeah.
top 5 albums are.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I didn't have work experience at my school. I
Did
was
you?
really sad about it.
I used to have to write out like letters for this politician, and I'd be the front-facing secretary with the other with the actual secretary. And this guy came in and he's like, "When are we gonna get the 6 counties back? Like, when are we gonna get this?" And I'm like, "I'm 15. I don't know. I have no contacts in the IRA. I can't sort this out." But yeah, the canteen was
Man,
good.
It's a miracle you're not in politics, really. I'm really,
I'm really
hearing
happy I'm not.
I'm really
Yeah,
hearing
true.
a politician sort of back up here, like therapy from an early age.
Yeah.
A political campaign.
Yeah.
Work experience with a politician, you know.
I used to work in like abortion rights when I was in my early 20s
Yeah.
and stuff.
Oh,
but like,
amazing.
So
Doing
you
that-
definitely do feel like that was a potential
I'm-
route that you were going to go down.
But you can do that with
Yeah.
comedy as
I'm
well.
too
like, and
unserious
just
for it.
speaking, and it's kind of like
yeah. And also like being around politicians, I was like, I don't like you.
I,
Do you know what I mean?
I went through a bit of a phase when I was, how old would I have been? 18. Or I was like, no, I don't want to be a comedian anymore. I'm too serious. I care too much.
Really? What
And
would you care about?
just
What did you care?
issues like just issues.
Yeah. I like music.
Just issues, just the world being a good place. Inequality, like war. I was pretty like, I went through that kind of 18-year-old like radical, where you just turn super like utopia, like you like feel like you could live in a perfect world and everyone's doing everything wrong, and then you kind of start kind of working and facing problems, and you're like, oh god, it's all quite complicated actually. And then you become I became really disengaged with politics in the UK because we just never on the left had any form of win really for forever,
especially with austerity, especially like this the thing that I would like to get rid of is the idea that austerity is a clever thing to do, because I do this as a comedian. I do this like festival every year about economics, and I meet economists and like met people that have like won Nobel Peace Prizes and shit, and they're just not like you get more intelligence out of people in green rooms than you do in this shit where they're, and you're supposed to take them seriously. Yeah. And they're nice. Like, if you're watching, not you, all good. But like, I don't hold politicians or any of them in high esteem. And I think when I was when I was like a teenager, I did. Because the politician that I worked for, like, the lore of him was that, like, he grew up working class, had to hitchhike to go learn to be a solicitor. And because I grew up in, like a working class background, I was very much into the idea of, like, social mobility. And also, I'm very big into, I grew up around a lot of benefit cheats, and I think they're kings. I think they, I hate the idea of, like, where people go, scroungers, and I'm like, you would not swap lives with them. You would not do it. Swap a life with them. Yeah, they got a big fucking TV. Yeah. I would not swap lives with them. Let them fucking have the big TVs.
I completely agree.
Do you know how much money are we actually losing?
It's nothing in the scheme of things, and it's like, you've got to do what you've got to do.
And it's the same with addiction.
Okay, I don't care if they've got
same with addiction as well. Like, they just do drugs. It's like you would as well.
You would as well if you grew up like that. Like, do you know where they go? Like, don't give money to homeless people because they might spend it on drugs. Please. It would be an honor for me to give you money for drugs.
Do you know what I mean? Have you heard that announcement on the Overground when it goes like, if you are approached by homeless people, please direct them to Homeless Link or
Can
something
you
like
imagine?
That. Imagine like being like, there is a great organisation that can help you. Yeah.
Wait, so I'll give money to like an organisation that's going to pay a woman called Vianetta, who is like Vianetta.
A woman named after a goddamn ice cream.
She's not a serious person.
It's so funny that thinking that all these organisations just making stuff up about them. Like, well, no, I'm not going to donate to them because they name all their staff after biscuits. Actually,
sorry, this is why I'm not in politics.
Did you know you were going to do comedy when you were in school?
No, I know.
Or performance or anything?
I kind of like was into performing, but like it was like a hobby and not like do you know what my ambitions were? I don't know. I was like kind of I was so hopeless about stuff. I had no like, so basically I got into radio. That's what I wanted to do, because I sent a text into a radio station once where they said, I was about 15, and they said, so we're asking a question today. Who is your favourite character that's been played by multiple actors, right? So I texted in and I said soap star children, because a child will grow up until they're 12 and then they'll go away to Canada for like a month and come back as like a man with a six-pack and stuff. So I wrote that in, and then they rang me and they were like, do you want to come on air and talk about this? I was like, yeah, I will. So I had to go on the basketball court in my estate because it's the only place you could get reception. And my mates were listening in, and I was like, just yapping away, just yapping. And I did it, and then they called me and they were like, do you want to come and review films next week? And I was like, yeah. Oh. And then the radio show, it moved to the afternoon. So then I had to mitching is like bunking off school. So I went into the bathrooms and I'd review films at like 2:00 in the day, and they'd send me out a check to pay for me to go to the cinema, and then I'd review films, and that's what. So I wanted to do radio.
Yeah,
that's what I wanted to do.
Yeah,
and there was no comedy clubs or like I used to watch. I watched loads of comedy, but the idea of stand-up comedy was like so alien to
Do you
me.
think you knew you were funny?
Yeah, I did, because like people would tell me I'm funny.
Yeah.
And also, I'd say by the third school I moved to, I was like, it's easiest to make friends if you're funny.
Yeah.
So I would be,
Yeah.
and because I was always the outsider, I'd like observe people, and then I'd like feed it back to them.
I think
in there.
I think you definitely become funny. I don't know if I was like. Then again, some kids just are really funny, like straight away. I don't remember being funny in like primary school.
I was funny in I was like, this sounds really grim, but like I realized that you don't get hit if you're funny. So I would try and be funny. Like my estate was like, they were quite like equal rights when it came to like lads hitting people. So you'd get a punch off a lad as quick. So I had to like, it wasn't enough to be a girl. Like before, I was like, I'm a girl, I don't get hit. And then I was like, no, this is not the rules here. So I had to like be funny. And I would like slag off people loads. I remember this guy, my first ever joke that went severely wrong was, there was this guy, he was lower on the social totem pole. Me and him were both the lowest, but he had a snotty nose. So he was lower than me, but I was a girl, so sometimes we could swap, you know?
Yeah.
And there was like a circle of lads, and they were slagging him off, and he was on his bike. And I went, he's pretty fly for a shite guy. I changed the lyrics of a popular song at the time. Boof, incredible. Yeah. And then he'd go, what'd she say? And I said, nothing. And I ran away. And he pushed me, and my teeth went through my lips. Like, my front teeth are, like, fake. Because that is the ultimate. You know, like, Ricky Gervais goes on about being silenced for your jokes. I got my teeth smashed in from my first ever joke. Yeah. So, like, I did, like, that was when a joke went wrong. And I had to, like...
Well, and all you called him was a shite guy.
I know, it was an overreaction.
And then he was like, I'm not a shite guy, which is why I'm going to knock your teeth out.
Like, yeah.
Acting a lot like a shite guy.
Yeah, that's the freedom of speech and comedy that people should be talking about. All right, Constantine kissing. I want to go on trigonometry. They're silencing comments. But like, yeah, definitely like a big part of my personality, and also because I was weird, and people would laugh at me for being unintentionally funny. So then I would tell a joke after it, so then it felt like the intention was there.
You owned it, and you were owning the whole thing rather than laughing at you.
I wasn't going to change. Like, I wasn't going to change the way I dressed or anything, or like what music I liked. So then you just had to be funny. Yeah. To like do that. Yeah. Because you couldn't be yourself and not be funny. You know? Yeah. Like you could be beautiful and not be funny. You could be beautiful and boring and get through life quite well. Yeah. The social lubricant of that is fine. But you can't be like ugly and a bit weird. You have to be funny.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, I feel like I was funny to like my friends, but
you look like a laugh in the
you
shopping,
look and that net
shop.
You love that. Yeah. I think I was.
Joke
I was
at
like
the fringe.
I was like goofy and funny, but also like I think a lot of the kids found it quite annoying. I feel like they kind of shunned me for it quite quickly.
Yeah, but they're dry.
I don't think they got it. Yeah. So I think when I look back, I used to think, I wasn't funny, but I think I was just funny, but just to my friends. Yeah. And people didn't really quite get it. And I probably did something similar to you, where it was like, I'd be funny to wind someone up. And that would probably piss them off more. Yeah. But I found it funny, and maybe my friend found it funny, but it's like, you know, got me in a lot of trouble. Oh, yeah. From everyone. It's not like got me like, wow, she's great. Yeah. It's
no, but then like, I don't give a fuck about those people. No, you know, like those people are like, no one I'd want to fit in with. Yeah. If they didn't like me, I was like, yeah.
I had such an outside experience then when I just looked at me and Molly in school uniform. Talking dead sincerely about like who liked us at school. Like, if we were funny and why we were funny.
It's amazing.
Like, oh God, this is actually really sad.
I'm not affected by this anymore, at all. Actually. Yeah.
We need to talk a bit more about lunches, I think.
Oh yeah.
What was going on for you, Molly? Were you packed lunch? Because you're not a fussy eater.
No.
I think you give me fussy eater energy.
I am
and you're not.
I am a fussy eater.
You'll always try stuff, though.
I will always
if
try
you've not
stuff.
had something, you'll try it.
I thought I wasn't a fussy eater, but
people piss me off who won't try things because I'm like, just try it.
Yeah, no, I'm like that. I will try stuff, but I'm also like, I'm not fussy, but I can be like if there's something on the plate that I don't like, I go really moody and uneasy, and Joe's only recently, he said recently, oh, actually, you are a bit weird with food. So I am, but not too bad. But I was worse when I was in school. I was picky when I was in school. So I think the Jamie Oliver thing came in at like year 8 or 9, I think.
Yeah,
so,
Twizzlers band.
Yeah, and so I was like, loved school dinners before then, you know, like chips and like Coke.
Did you like
Diet
Twizzlers?
Coke and that.
Turkey
Real
Twizzlers.
Love turkey
They were
Twizzlers. They
banging.
stank,
Never had
though.
them.
They
now
like,
actually, I
stank the
wouldn't want to
house
go
up.
near one. They're
Yeah.
horrible. They had this like powder on them, sort of like MSG, I guess.
Yeah.
That was just like crack as a kid.
Oh, I'd love one.
Incredible.
What's that? You don't eat them like that.
Like your lady in the tramp, a turkey Twizzler between you.
You're like twizzled it in.
You're like Eiffel Towering a Bronchosaurus or whatever they have. Isn't it? What are the turkey dinosaurs?
They were good. No, but then I think when all the healthy stuff come in, I didn't really like it.
Yeah.
What would you? What,
But then I think eventually Pasta King then came in.
Yeah. So do you know about Pasta
No.
King? I knew you
I
wouldn't.
think
We
it came
both
in
had
my
Pasta
last
King.
year. So if you're a bit older than me, you might have not been there.
And it's
as a-
definitely an English thing.
It probably is an English thing, but it was like near the end, and it was like It was like a pasta.
It was basically just pasta.
Yeah.
But there was like a few
But they
different
made it.
ones.
They had this marketing that I think tried to make it cool, and it
Yeah.
worked. It's called Pasta King. At my school, it was its own bar, like its own.
Yeah,
section.
it was its own
So as you were
section.
coming in, you go,
Wow.
"No, I'm going Pasta King."
Yeah.
I'd be like, "What's going on at Pasta King?" And then they'd say what it was. You're like,
It'd be
"Yeah,
like
I'm gonna do-"
sausage tomato pasta
Yeah.
or something.
Oh,
And it was always
that's
quite
glorious.
watery.
Yeah, it was rubbish.
Yeah, it
really.
was rubbish.
But like you were meant to, and I feel like originally you were meant to get it in like these cool like paper cups that said
Yeah, like the
Pasta King,
tub thing.
but then we didn't have that. Did you have that?
We did,
Yeah, I
yeah.
always wanted that, and it was just pasta.
Yeah.
It was just pasta.
And I
with
wasn't
a
eat
crap
pasta
sauce.
at home, but I'd eat Pasta
Pasta King.
There was something about like the PR of it or whatever.
Yeah,
like,
the
the
marketing
Do you
was
think
really
it's because
good.
it was the
Working.
monarchy and you're English, and then it
Yeah,
was
for the king. Yeah.
that's the only king I recognise.
King I like.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, I like that one. I remember I had braces in school. You know, them ones that you take out.
Yes.
Retainer, and I'd got them that day, or I either got them that day or the day. No, I got them that day in the morning, and I'd come into school for lunch, and I'd still had like there was like a what do you call it, like a flyer or whatever about it, and I was reading it, and it said, "Don't wrap it in tissue when you eat because you'll put it in the bin." And I was like laughing at it with my friend, like, "Oh my god, imagine how if you did that, it's so stupid." And then I wrapped it in tissue and I put it in the bin, and then like I didn't realize
Amazing.
for hours, like I went into school and I was like, and then I had to like root through all the school bins, and I got like all the
your
ladies
teeth.
to help it couldn't find.
Did you get it?
them,
You
no.
didn't? Oh no! You got all that bin
And my mum
juice
had to
on you.
buy it because
That's
if you lose
expensive.
it. It was like £200, and she was like so mad, and it was mental. It was just in the flyer, and I'd read it that day.
Oh my god! I'm
Yeah.
so
Was
sorry.
it straight away?
Straight away, I hadn't even really worn it.
So what was your go-to pasta cake? It was the sausage and
Sausage
tomato.
and
Like
sauce.
what was
Usually
the day
just
that
a
you'd be so
tomato
happy?
sauce.
That's all I remember.
And if it is a tomato sauce.
with cheese on top.
Yeah.
So it wasn't really like I don't feel like it was even like that was like the healthy alternative. But I mean, pasta is good, but I still feel like it was just like cheesy, like hot dog sausages.
Oh my god! I used to have the nickname pasta salad in secondary school because I tripped over and this pasta salad exploded everywhere. Or like my go-to order was a brown roll with cheese, coleslaw, and stuffing, and it was gorgeous
Oh, that
because I was
sounds
vegetarian.
so good.
At the time.
I don't think I'd have
hideous.
liked that as a kid.
Would you?
I
not?
would eat that now, but I wouldn't have had that as a
Very
kid.
flavoursome.
You're saying that in a with an accusation.
Yeah,
very
very
flavoursome.
I just because you were talking about retainer, I got braces, but then I didn't wear my retainer, so they just like went back to normal.
Yeah, and then they don't fit back in.
Yeah.
Well, I did that after when I got it back again. I kept doing
And then
that.
when I was in a club, I was 18. I was speaking to a girl, and she worked as an orthodontist. And I told her, and she shouted at me basically. And I think I was on MDMA, so I was quite sensitive.
Oh.
And you were
So then I went,
grinding
well-
your
I went,
teeth at the
well-
time.
And then I went,
Retainer
well, she went, well, why did you do that?
You
You
never
just
wanna
wasted
meet
all
her-
that money, wasted all your parents' money. You shouldn't do that, because she clearly had experience. I mean, but I went,
Was she on MDMA too?
I don't know. I went, oh, well, I had a lot of mental health issues.
Yes,
and then
King,
she went,
yes.
but no, wait for it. And then she went, oh, well, I don't want to get into that. And then I felt bad. I felt bad for her because I'm an empath. So then
Oh my God.
I felt
And you were on
really
MDMA.
bad for her because she just bollocked me. And then I went, I didn't really. I just said that to make you feel better. And then she went, oh, you fucking monster. I've got mates who killed themselves. And then walked
we
on
all
and then was
have
telling
that.
all the mates, look at me like this. And I was like, well, I did. And no, I didn't. And yeah.
Oh my
It was
God.
a complete mess. It really upset me actually for years.
And you
that
were on
thing.
MDMA at the time.
Yeah,
that would be the worst.
Because it made me
And
really,
was you
really
retainer
sick.
in that day? In the
No,
club?
this
Oh,
was
no, you were just
reflecting.
reminiscing.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. I feel, I don't know. She's a mean lady.
Yeah,
to
that
be
was
honest.
the
is
worst
mean.
person to meet on
If you're
MDMA.
watching, you're a bitch.
Yeah.
So, say it. Okay, Alison Spittle, we're going to give you a school report that me and Molly
Beautiful.
are going to judge on base how we think you did at school, really.
Okay.
What are our big takeaways? Very mentally stable.
Yeah.
Yes.
Sorry. Not mentally stable. Unmentally stable,
Yeah.
but well resolved.
Yes,
Would that be fair to
that's
say?
Very
so
fair to
true.
say.
Like,
Very
Worked
fair
it
to
all
say.
out.
Definitely
Yeah.
smashing up potatoes, you know.
Yeah.
Glad I did it the first year as well.
Yeah,
so I
get
got
it all
6
out.
solid years
Was
of
that first year you were smashing up a
potato, yeah.
Also very, very Irish,
I know. What an Irish breakdown. I know. It's making up for me being born in England. I'm like, I must prove my Irish by having a mental breakdown and involving potatoes. Yeah.
So yeah, mental breakdown straight away.
Yeah.
But
But quick, good to, most people have them later on, I think.
Do you know what? I did read at an early age, and I did have a mental breakdown at an early age. I do feel I was a protege.
Yeah.
You know, that's it. Like
Yeah.
I was
I mean-
a young bloomer.
You're quite
think that's-
bright, I think.
Yeah,
Thank you.
very bright. I think the only thing is that you probably, because you put yourself in the lower classes.
Yeah.
That would
That's
have to
not
bring
great.
down.
Not great.
Smoking from 11
Smoking.
as well. Naughty.
The Irish,
Alison.
that is
the
not
Irish
that.
Prime Minister visited my school because it was a good example of a new school,
Oh.
and I was locked in a room with the other bold kids because I wasn't allowed to meet him. I'll just put that in there.
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh, interesting.
They locked us in a room.
Because you were like the weirdos, like get them out. all the
Yeah, and I
naughty
was a bit
kids.
politically active, and I
Yeah.
was like, you know.
Oh. See, I quite like that. They had
I
to
like-
get you away
yeah.
because you would kick off with him, kind of
Yeah.
thing.
Yeah.
Wow.
I did a petition and stuff. And
Are we
yeah.
marking up for that or marking
Yes,
down?
I think marking up.
Marking
Beautiful.
up. You're going somewhere.
I think maybe like.
Huffing deodorant.
I think that's marked up.
You like that?
It is
I really
pretty
like
cool.
that. Yeah.
When you combine it with Hollyoaks, it's like white wine and fish. It just goes
Was this
well
when
together.
Newt was on it?
Huh?
Was it when Newt was on Hollyoaks?
Newt, is he the guy who wrote his sister, or is that a different
I
guy?
don't know. It was like the goth one.
Yes,
With the-
yes.
everyone fancied
He was very
him.
good looking.
Yeah.
Is that
yeah,
going to
yeah,
affect
yeah,
the
yeah.
grade depending which version?
Yeah,
of
just so I
Hollyoaks?
can visualize it.
There was
you
a
know, I
lot of
was watching
incest
it.
in Hollyoaks.
There was a lot of
wasn't
incest.
there?
And maybe that was an incest story, yeah.
There was like 3 different storylines.
Yeah, and
People
it's on at like 5 in the
I
afternoon.
know. But it must have been a thing teenagers thought about a lot.
Yeah.
Like, what if I fucked my brother? And now porn
Well,
is all that.
porn was like that too.
Yeah.
Do you think Hollyoaks has changed the trajectory of pornography?
It must be. When I did a work experience at Hollyoaks for uni.
This is incredible.
Yeah.
Wow.
And apparently Hollyoaks is out of everything on Channel 4 is like makes more, well at the time made more than half of the profits of Channel 4. It probably isn't like that anymore.
Wow.
But that wasn't even that long ago. So it is
Yeah.
huge. But you don't think it is.
No, considering how much money they put into like gas canister accidents, there was always like a big gas canister
Yeah.
explosion at a wedding
Yeah,
or whatever.
but
you
It
know?
was so extra.
Yeah, it was.
Yeah, I applied for a job so many times. I had an interview, didn't get it.
That's
So I
incredible.
actually do resent them now.
I'm so impressed by you.
yeah.
Why did you?
Yeah.
Why did you not get the job? Was it because of your inability to stay on a task, like say a report, and not completely go for 10 minutes about a
Sorry.
Oh, yeah, sorry. Yeah.
I
show
did
class?
I did
Just
miss
you know,
Right, B plus.
B plus.
Yeah, beautiful.
That sounds about right to me.
I'm taking it.
Fair play. Right now,
Well done, Molly.
Hollyoaks. Which brother-sister relationship did you most want to be involved with? No, wait.
quiz.
Right, Molly's gonna have a go at doing the outro.
Okay, let me give it a go. Oh, it's been so lovely to have you you, Alison.
That's good. That was so authentic.
Thank you. What's authentic?
That made me feel a bit emotional. Oh, Alison. That felt like, do you know what? That was the energy of like an old lady.
It was,
and
I
like,
even did
and
this.
like and a young kid as part of their DFE has come round to like help them with their shopping. You go,
DFE?
Duke of Edinburgh.
Oh, I hate that.
Well, you know, let's. But you know, like old lady getting helped by a young school kid. You're like, oh, it's been so lovely to. It's been so lovely to have you, Alison. But it has been lovely to have you, Alison. Congratulations on your B+.
Amazing.
It's not a bad grade at all.
No,
a B+.
really. I don't think you want an A.
No.
And you wouldn't have wanted an A.
No, and I want to give you space as well, because there will be better people than me. And
I reckon there'll be worse.
There will be. There'll be way worse, but there'll be better as well. You know what I mean?
We don't want to just.
My schooling, I was always middling. I'm happy to do it. It's beautiful.
Could we get? Maybe we should get the grades of every guest.
Like that. With a little picture.
Like Top Gear. There you go.
Yeah, like Top Gear.
Yeah. Cool. Have you got anything to plug?
Oh, babes, I got so much to plug. I'm doing an Irish tour of my show called Big. It's starting in like late January. I'm going to be in the UK. I think I'm going to Australia. Like, it's getting confirmed.
Amazing.
So I'm very excited about that.
Busy.
And if you're watching this and you're like, she ain't going to Australia, don't ask me about it. I'm sad.
Yeah.
Something happened.
So actually, check when this comes out if she is going to Australia, and if not,
and I'm doing a podcast with Fern Brady, and that should be out by now. We haven't decided on a name, but we've recorded 5 episodes.
Oh, amazing!
Wow.
Yeah.
Exciting.
We wanted to call it Pig Cum. But we don't think it's going to be called that.
I quite like Pig Cum.
You like Pig Cum?
And it's a good name for a podcast.
That's a table slammer, that is. That's a table slammer.
I get so serious when I've said something funny. I'm like,
I need this.
I really need it. Well, it's been so lovely to have you, Alison. You're welcome anytime. You're welcome anytime. Thank you, Alison.
Yeah, thanks, Alison.
Bye.
Bye. Have you enjoyed this episode of the School's Out show?
I'm so sorry. We won't believe what I was thinking about then.
If you enjoyed this episode of the School's Out show, then... Okay. If you enjoyed this episode of the School's Out show, then...
Please, go ahead. Subscribe to Mic Drop Studios. Give us a little like. And also send us some stuff. Would you like that?
Yeah.